Welcome to the Disney Bundle, where Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus come to life on all your screens.
Hello and welcome to the Hypertrophy Odyssey, chapter 295. It is the third day of the week, aka the Spirit Bomb workout. I am feeling all right. Could be better, but hey, it is what it is. But anyways, to the main subject matter at hand for today. The subscription model sucks, and I wish we were to get rid of it, but it's here to stay, unfortunately. So the reason why I wanted to talk about this, honestly, it wasn't even on my radar today. I was kind of going to go somewhere else, but I saw it on my list of stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, I do want to rant about this, because the subscription model sucks. I think everybody can agree. We have overdone it. We have fucked up, basically. We as a society fucked up. There were some good examples of it, Netflix and Spotify, and now there are bad examples of it. Every single thing else now, because it seems as though everything has to be in a subscription model. And we will get into the details, the oversaturation. I kind of want to do a little bit of research on this one, so I might do some research, aka figure out if I wanted to get every single subscription at the base level, to get every single one, how much would it cost me? I would be very curious per month. I'm just very curious about that. I know other people have probably already done that, but it just interests me, right? And I will go with one music and one extra thing, because there's going to be an extra thing, you know? But the subscription model, unfortunately, has nickel and dimed so many people to hell and back. Realistically, probably they're still in hell most of the time. I think that it has become a problem, honestly, because so many things have become subscription models that there are some things that you can't even outright own things anymore. Looking at you, Adobe. Adobe's getting its own episode. I'm not going to cover them here. I might touch upon them, but I'm not going to cover them here because I have a special place in my heart for the hatred that I have for Adobe products. But that's a rant for another day. I'm going to need a longer episode than what I normally do. All right, so it's a different day for a different story. But the main reason why it has become an issue, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, this is an issue, is because there's so many things trying to get your dollars, basically. So the oversaturation of the market has really caused this issue. And we will get into the numbers, we'll look into it, we'll understand the price creep that always happens on these things, and a few other elements that go along with it to make it so that, hey, things have not gotten better. In fact, they've gotten worse. I mean, everybody complained about cable, but at least every 2 years you can go to a new one. You know, you'd have to deal with all the bullshit that you'd have to go through in order to get to a new one. But still, at least you'd have introductory rates and all this other random shit that you'd get for joining, like a free iPad or whatever the hell they'd give you for free for joining. But still, at least there's that. Nowadays, it's just the death by 1,000 cuts, really. So we'll talk about that. A whole litany of other things as well. I'm not going to touch into one other subject matter that kind of goes into this, but that one's for maybe a different episode, different story, different channel, because technically it's not legal. So with that being said, I will see you at Mother Base. All right, so I started this day off with AD Press, which is pretty good. But anyways, back to the main subject matter at hand. The subscription model has been a disaster for the human race. The main reason why I wanted to talk about this is because it has been on my list for a while, but it is something that really does suck. We are seeing that ownership is becoming less and less of a thing, and thus we are just getting licenses. The only contrast to that is if we are just getting licenses for things, then piracy is not really stealing, but that's a whole other subject for a whole other day. In this subject matter, particularly, the amount of things that you would have to get subscriptions to is quite ludicrous. And we aren't just talking about for entertainment now. We're getting to the point now where everything has some type of subscription plan. We have cars, movies, TV shows, music, games, Adobe products, which will be its own episode, I swear to you. But things like that, where you can subscribe to get other things now, or you can get perks for things like, for example, like DoorDash Plus or whatever the fuck they call it, Dash Pass, which is just, you don't have to pay extra fees for your surf to come bring you some food from fucking Five Guys that you're overpaying anyway. So it seems as though we have overdone it when it comes to the subscription model. We fucked up. And we fucked up royally too. We messed up by letting it intrude in our lives. At this point, it seems as though that has become the massive way that people will try to make money. It does not matter where it is, but the subscription model will persist no matter what. And we've kind of screwed ourselves because of that. It doesn't seem like we're going to get out of it unless we do some other stuff, piracy and things like that. I think that they are under the impression that this will be its own episode, but eventually that we will own nothing and we will be happy. Really, that's what most companies want. They want us to make it so we can rent out certain things. And it's to give us the illusion of being actually richer than we actually are. I think that that's the main reason why that they go for this. So then that way we can rent out certain things, certain parts of luxury and or let's say entertainment or whatever. So then that way we feel like we're doing better than we actually are in society. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but still, I think that that's part of the plan really, is because realistically, if you wanted to go rent out like a fancy car, it's relatively cheap and easy rather than go and do something else, or even hell, like something like a ride share where you're going to go get a ride to someplace is still infinitely easier than taking the bus or something like that, which is way cheaper. But the idea of taking an Uber somewhere is more luxurious in theory. And it used to be only a couple of bucks, but now because they're the only game in the market, now it's just normal priced for like a taxi, but the taxis is screwed out of their entire business model. But that's a different story for a different day. Now, I did look at all of the subscription model or the subscriptions, particularly the entertainment subscriptions, because I was very curious about this. And this is all with ads. So I did the math on this. So just the video itself and with ads, there's one bundle, which I'll explain. We have Prime Video, Apple, Max, Netflix, Paramount, Peacock, and then a bundle with Disney, ESPN, Hulu. All of those combined, if you got the base level ones for each of these, it came out to $68.93. This is all of them, including ads as well. So you'd be paying essentially $70. This is all before tax, but depending on your state, tax will either apply or not apply. But still, basically $70 for all of those plus tax. And this isn't even including other things. I included as well, just to do a little bit of extra math, Spotify, one premium Spotify license, and one YouTube premium license, which is barely anything, no ads, but you could exchange YouTube for, let's say, Crunchyroll or some other advertisement thing. That is $94.91. So basically $95 for all of those streaming services. You own nothing there. You cannot do anything with it. Once it is gone or stop paying these $95, you owe none of this, and they will take away all of your access to everything that you just purchased. I'm not necessarily even against every single one of these. Spotify, I think, is a great idea, but holy shit, we're talking about $100 for every single thing. And now you're thinking, you don't need every single one. You're not going to do everything. Yeah, but that's what the thing. This was supposed to save us from cable TV. It has now just become cable TV again. So in essence, it became the monster that we were trying to get away from. Now it's even worse because other markets are coming into this. So other things are becoming subscription services. I have a timer app on my phone for the gym. I love using it, but I have to stay on the ad version of it. The ad version is free. If I wanted to pay for it, it'd be $60. That's for a full-time, never have to pay for it again license, or pay $4.99 a month to get it licensed out to me, which is insane. And it's the fact that people will see the lower price and be duped by it, and thus go into never really realizing that, oh, I'm burning this amount of money, I'm burning that amount of money on something like this. And then they wonder, what happened to all of my money? Why am I fucked over? This is $95. And this is assuming you're getting the baselines and you're actually getting everything. But even then, 90% of these have ads. That's really it. So you're doubling their money
You have to sit there and watch extra stuff so they can make even more money off of your dollars before they entertain you or whatever the fuck they want to do. It is ludicrous, and we haven't touched other things that people pay subscription model things for. So I think that it has become the way of life, and it's not going to change anytime soon. But I think that because of this now, I'm very, 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 very pro piracy. I do not, if I don't own it, it's not stealing. So fuck them.
And we're back. Welcome to the workout debriefing. Exercises not filmed, none. Exercises skipped, also none. Got everything in, thankfully. Back to the main subject matter for today. The subscription model and its consequences have been disastrous for the human race. But anyways, they really have been. Honestly, the more and more things go into the subscription model, the worse that things are going to get, I think, realistically. Even things like entertainment aren't going to be the only things that are going to become subscription-based. There's going to be more and more and more things that are going to be able to be milked until you are milked dry and or fucked, really. So I am not a huge proponent of it. I mean, for the love of God, I have a timer that I use on my phone. The reason why I like it is because it doesn't intrude with anything else. When it ends quickly. Issue is, it has, in order to pay for it, they want a subscription for it in order to not get ads, which is the most annoying part of the actual application. It costs $5.99 a month. Or I could pay it for a lifetime subscription for $60. $60 for a fucking timer, all right? I understand why they might want it. Obviously, they're trying to milk the money and they know it's a good timer, but no, I'm not paying $60. And I'm also not paying $5.99 a month for a fucking timer. It's such a ridiculous thing to even want, and that's just like a small nickel and dime thing. Realistically, if you can't find alternatives for whatever you want, you are fucked. And that's the other thing. You kind of just have to pay and hope to God that they don't fuck you over. Like one company, which I will not mention, but my God, I will have a rant for that. That might be that might be in an episode or two, because you know what? Pause. I'm gonna write this down real quick. There's one company that they can go fuck themselves, but that's a whole other conversation for a different day. I hate them. But anyways, I think that the subscription model has only gotten worse and worse as time progresses. I am a proponent of at least making your own media server, aka using Plex, and or getting your own media your own way, whatever that may be, whether it be DVDs, Blu-rays, or maybe a little bit of the sailing of the seas. But anyways, to me, it's how you get it and up to you, really. And if you want to support the people in the shows that you like or entertainment that you like, then go for it, and I would recommend it. But if you don't feel like doing it, hey, who cares, really? But anyways, I think that when it comes to streaming, Spotify was a decent idea, and then the competitors came and kind of made it meh, and then all of a sudden just more and more things just have become slowly creeping up like that. I remember when Spotify was like $7. It's like, I think it's $10 now, I think. Maybe 11. I pay for the family one, which is $15, or excuse me, Duo, so I can have a second person on there, which is $15, which is ridiculous, but that's beside the point. Subscription models have now taken the place of other things, and they are just going to keep getting worse and worse. There will probably be a kickback or pushback on it eventually, once people realize how easy it is to get things for free, realistically, and or once companies realize, oh, we can't nickel and dime them this way, we're going to find another way to nickel and dime them. We'll have to wait and see how it goes. But with the amount of money that was probably calculated and spent on whatever I said in the voiceover, which will be right here, it is just too much. It's too much, and it's ridiculous. And the people that feel like they need to have this stuff, they need it. It is sickening that these companies have made it feel like that. So, with that being said, Tell me what you think in the comments below. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions about this one. This one is more of a random one, but a specific type of thing that's happening in the universe today. Unfortunately, everywhere in the world is dealing with this. At least it's not social credit, so there's that. But, well, then again, that's a kind of a different story and a different day. But let me know what your thoughts and opinions are about this, and what subscriptions you have, and maybe some subscriptions you don't need, in the comments section down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this video with anybody who may or may not like it. I will be back on tomorrow with a new video. Thanks again for watching. I really do appreciate it. I will see you in the next one. Keep it heavy. Stay safe out there. Stay cool out there. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.